Hello everyone, this is Strong Girls Knits and I am Ren. Thank you so much for stopping by. If you're a new viewer, I hope you enjoy. If you're a returning viewer, thank you again. Always appreciate it. I'm sorry I look a little blown out in this hoodie. It is neon and it is pretty sunny. So I apologize for that. But I was just too comfortable to change after I saw it. So yeah. I'm sore. I had a competition yesterday, so I will get into that later, of course. But let's go ahead and talk about knitting. So winter camp, which was held by the Canadian Knitter, ended at the end of last month. And I managed to get stuff done, or I got my socks done. Ugh. Yeah, my super bright. I like neon. My super bright socks, and there's the cable detail, maybe, if you can see it. I haven't worn these yet. Almost wore them today, but I wanted to show them on the podcast, so I didn't. This is Regia's Flormania yarn, and I want to get all the colors now. Alright, I have one, the purple and pink, if you guys remember a while back. And the yarn was really nice to work with. I like it. And this pattern is called Vinovia, and I cannot remember I'll put everything right here. But I really like the pattern. The heel construction was very interesting. Right here's the heel, if you can kind of tell the difference. It is a paid for pattern, so I'm not going to say much about it, but I did like it. We'll see how it wears and everything and how it fits. I haven't tried it on yet. But it fits my sock blocker just like all my other socks. So that is good. And I haven't blocked it or anything. I never really block my socks. But like I said, I really like this pattern. And I knit my little fingers off Thursday. Actually, I got quite a bit done Wednesday evening. And then Thursday I just had to Kitchener one toe and then knit the other toe and finish it. So I was really proud of myself and I got everything in. I was close to 500. I know I hit over 400. So, I really liked winter camp, but I will say I wish maybe next year it was only 2 months, because by this third month, I don't want to say I was kind of bored with it, but my steam definitely gave out at that time. A lot of other stuff started happening in March, or getting close to other things, or other things were about to start. And so maybe next year I would definitely suggest maybe doing it 2 months. The point system, I didn't quite understand the point system, like how they came about that. I didn't like it. I mean, it was, very straightforward, but at the same time I was kind of mad because, like with this guy, it was ended up on the scale to be only like 21 points or something like that, and for me it just, I don't know, it just made me a little mad because I was like, no, it's not worth 20 points, whereas, I mean, to be fair, everyone who did the same amount, like, weight-wise, for the, pair of socks got the same points, but I don't know, it just the points kind of drove me crazy, and then I wanted to try and make, like, my own Excel sheet where it didn't matter, I don't know, like, where I could use a code or something and just, like, punch in, okay, here's the weight, and this is how much it was, or this is the weight of the yarn, and then how much I knit weight-wise, and then it spat out points or whatever, but I'm still working on that. Haven't quite come up with it. Anyways, like I said, I really like this, and I got really lucky. I was on Team Snow Leopard, and I had Andrea, the cat lady, as my, she was the cabin leader, and she was really great. We were definitely a talkative group. Everyone seemed to get along, and for the most part, I think pretty much everyone participated. They may not have talked in the thread, but everyone participated, and that was great. We did get lucky. We had Mina from the Knitting Expat, so she gave us a huge lead with all those socks. But even then, like, she did 35 pairs of socks and calculated the points, and let's say she only got 25 points per sock, that wasn't, I don't know. It just seemed like a lot of work and not a lot of points, so. Anyways, like I said, I do like it. I hope we do it next year, but maybe with some changes, so. here's my socks. My socks. And so that's all I finished. Like I said, I didn't even get to work on my, or I didn't work on my blanket because I was trying to get this done. And then I was just so, I'm so sorry about the sun. Here, let me, so sorry. You can see my completely covered mannequin back there, but the sunlight is a bit better. Yeah, and then Friday was the day before, before my competition, and I just got real jittery, real nervous, and I went ahead, I like cleaned up my whole crafting area. I don't even know if you can, my yarn looks a little more organized in there. And I even opened up my trunk and sorted through that a bit. I got a little bit of sewing done, but then I went ahead and emptied out all my project bags, ripped out any projects I wasn't working on or that I decided, you know, I wasn't going to do, which those mittens I was working on, I went ahead and ripped it out because they did not want to be mittens. I didn't want to make them mittens. I was already mad with that pattern. I ripped out that pattern from my knitting journal, and I think I'm going to go ahead and try and make that shrug with it. It might seem a little loud, but I think if I match it with a well-cut, nice, you know, black, gray dress, you know, a very simplistic color, it'll look quite nice, so, and it'll be warm. So I did all that, got everything organized, and got everything bagged up. So I have 3 projects that I've bagged, besides my blanket. It didn't move or anything, so I guess 4 projects bagged up. Only 2 of them I cast on, and I went ahead and, so if anyone doesn't know, I am doing a knit along right now, besides my monthly sock knit along, which I will get to about that in a bit. I am doing a cowl with Deborah Frank, Oblivious Knit, and also co-hosted with Carl the Fag and Orange Jellyfish? Yeah, Orange Jellyfish. I always want to add Dream to the end of that name, and there's no Dream in the name. But, and I kicked that off on the 1st. That was really, it's going pretty well right now. I will go ahead and show my progress. This is a new lace pattern of hers, and she does really beautiful work. Again, I don't think I have my lace. Ugh. Nope, okay. It's still downstairs. Because I've knit one of her lace shawls before, and I knit the sliver of hers, which is really nice. She gifted that to me. And here is my wow, that is super bright. I am so sorry. Is that, there we go. That's a little better. Sorry about that. Well, I got this much done. I got the first, because she has it split into 5 charts. I think there's 5 charts. This is a paid for pattern, so I'm trying to not give anything away. But, one of the charts you have to, the first chart you do repeat multiple times. And I've gotten through the first repeat of it, and I'm working on the second, and I think I might just do the 2, because the first one is where you can adjust the length, you know, add more, add less. And so I think I'm only going to do 2. We'll see how it is, because I only have a 400 yard skein, whereas the pattern calls for 600. And this is from my lovely swap pattern from the Expat Swap. Her name was, oh man, hold on. Shelly, that's her name. And this is her Ravelry name. So, and I was kind of upset because the pattern calls for 6 needles, 6 and 7. And I went and cast on. I was like, oh, I'll even use the stitch markers she gave me, but they're a little too small for size 6, and then they'll be definitely too small for size 7. But I'm using them on my socks for the month. But anyways, and this is Shanty Knits. She's from Southampton, Ontario in Canada. And this is called Kisses. So here's the card. And it is 80% superwash merino and 20% nylon. Ooh, I'm so sorry guys. I am still really kind of out of it from yesterday, but it's coming really up nicely. I originally did want to do this pattern in like a white or an off-white, and I didn't have anything, and I've been trying to be good about buying. I don't really want to buy any yarn right now. I want to use up my stash as much as I can, because I have like 4 sweaters worth of yarn that I want to, you know, knit those sweaters. So that's kind of my motivation at the moment. But here it is. And I was a little nervous with the variegated yarn because, you know, variegation does kind of eat up pattern. But I think it's coming along nicely. And then when I block it out, it'll look nice. And there's another woman in our knit along at the moment. She's picked a variegated as well, and hers looks pretty as well. I can't remember her name, and I'm sorry if you're watching this and I didn't remember your name. But yeah, I'm really excited. It's very much, I do one row and then I just want to do the next one. I want to do the next one and just keep going and going and going. So this is a nice knit. I was kind of nervous about it because it seems daunting, but once I started into it, like I said, I just keep knitting and knitting, and it's very relaxing, and it definitely seems to have kicked my knitting mojo back because it was kind of waning there towards the end of last month. But yeah, this is really nice. And my other pattern as well, I'm cast on my socks of the month. And again, I forgot what this yarn is. I know it's a Autumn Rainbow, and I'll put who dyed it right down here. But I am, oh, what is this? This is called Jeeves by Sarah Wolf. I didn't print off the title page of it. I just print off the 2 pages with the notes. And this is a free pattern. So, if you can see that detailing. But, oh, and there's the sock picture. Now this is DK weight on a size 4. And I started this as well. And this seems very potato chippy as well. You know, I just keep going and going. And see, the pattern is a tad lost in it, but that's okay. But I do like the variegation, how it's swirling like that. I mean, it is striping and it's swirling, and I love that. Almost tempted, you know, it'd almost be tempting just to do this in a simple rib pattern, but I'm really enjoying it as is. It's very nice. And hopefully, I mean, there is quite a bit of yarn in this. It's like 280 and I have small feet. So maybe, and I already told my mom this when I saw her yesterday, if there's enough left over, she might get herself a pair of socks as well. Maybe more like shorty socks, but you know, my sport weight socks are thicker and they're very warm. So I'm very excited about these. These should be nice and toasty as well. So, and I need to add this to my knitting journal. So I don't know if I've ever showed this. I know I've showed like the pattern when I talk about the pattern, but yeah, it's just a simple black and red, that's the brand, notebook, rabbit markings on it. But I don't know, it's, at my last job I snagged this, and it was for notes for meetings, and yeah, I didn't really take notes in the meetings, but and I don't have that job anymore, but it's okay. So, and I pretty much just added, I print off the patterns, and when you do, like, actually when you print anything off, you have the option, mostly I only really notice it when I do, it's like PDF file, but you have the option to like print multiple pages on one page. So that's what I do. I tend to print off, I get 2 on one page, and then I cut it and just tape it in there, and this way I write notes in there and whatnot, and then if I don't like the pattern, I rip it out, or maybe sometimes I just rip it out anyways after I'm done with it. But I still have socks on a plane in here. This one I want to do Longing for Spring. I knit a pair of socks with like the basis of this. I didn't do the pattern, but I really like the designer, who is something coffee. I don't know. But anyways, socks on a plane, and then I've got the 2 paid for patterns, and I leave notes in here as well. Yeah, that was for when I was doing those samples, but yeah, that's my knitting journal. So craft plans. Oh, and this is my only acquisition. I got this actually a while back. These are Knit Picks new needles. I didn't even say what they are on here. I forgot what it's called. Majestic. That's the new colorway. Majestic. Let me get the thick one out. And I actually bought, I got another set of cable needles. Oh, please. I don't know if it's, there we go. New cable. Isn't that gorgeous? I kind of want to convert everything to these needles because they're so gorgeous and so me. But I already have my full tips in the rainbow. Some of my double points are in rainbow, and then the rest are Caspian, and then my fixed 16-inch circulars are a mix of a mix of Caspian and rainbow, and then I only have one of the Majestic, and it's the like 10.75 US, so it's like not even really a size that's used, but I did have the full collection, and it was an excuse to have some of that in my collection. But yeah, so craft goals, I have been sewing again, and I actually have some bags that I will show you guys. I definitely, with the weather getting warmer, I actually recently bought a book on how to like draft my own skirts, and so I definitely want to make skirts and maybe try and make a dress and whatnot. My sewing machine, definitely want to get it up and going. Besides knitting, I do want to take my set more time for spinning, like maybe at least once a week, sit down, watch a full episode, like a 45-minute episode of something, and sit and spin, you know, or because I definitely, my spinning machine, I want to really get using that and get used to it. And of course my spindles I want to use because I do love spinning, and I bought all this stuff, you know, I bought fiber and I want to use it, so, and I eventually want to knit with my spun things, so. But yeah, do you guys have any crafty goals? Like I said, this is kind of my reset button for the year, you know. Spring is kind of the reset of when I set goals and whatnot. And so do you guys have any kind of, anyone who was in winter camp, do you have like some crafty goals that you want to be a part of and whatnot, or that you want to achieve? Please tell me in the show notes. Oh, so let's talk about those bags. So these two bags I've actually had for a bit. So they're not recent sews, but I want to show them off anyways. Little patriotic with a simple red lining. Box bag. Oh, I thought I saw some. So, and I actually like the box bags. They're kind of annoying to make, but using them, they're quite nice. Let's see, and then we have, this is another dinosaur fabric, and this is the last one for sale, but it's a thinner box bag, but it still gets a lot in there. I really like it, so we got those. And then so all for my recent sews, and I actually have a second Instagram account. Actually, it's just called Girl with the Rabbit Store, and I will link that below the video. And I need to get my Etsy store back up and going, but I do use my Instagram account. That Instagram account kind of is a de-stash. I did have a bunch of sales, and I actually have a sale for these bags right now, and then after like a week, when I get time to actually sit and take nice photos of these to put on Etsy and then get all that listings filled out, I'll take them off the Instagram account and put it on here on Etsy. But so I have a couple of wedge bags. Here's got Batgirl, Wonder Woman, Supergirl. Yeah, I think I said this all right. And just simple wedge bag. I have two of these, and here's another one with those same ladies, and again two of these, each of those. One of these little strawberry bags, nice lining, and these are all kind of small. Like this one's definitely smaller. I don't have a random skein of yarn to put in here, but oh well. Like this would definitely be good for like much smaller projects, or a large notion pouch, or cosmetics, you know. And then I've got this one, little fun fabric inside. Just little bunnies. I really love this fabric. It was on, I found it on clearance when I first started making bags, and I bought all of it. A few yards. Actually, I think it was more than that. But anyways, it's nice. This one's a little bit bigger than this guy, a little taller. I like it. I might actually keep one of these, but I have 2 of these available. But yeah, those are just all my bags that I have. I wanted to show them to you. I know other podcasters, you know, they show off what they make and whatnot. Sometimes it's not always my favorite thing, you know, when I'm watching a podcast, but I don't know. It seems like a lot of other people do enjoy it, and of course, you know, you always have the option to fast forward through that. That's what I tend to do. If they're talking about that, you know, like, let's say the yarn they dye or the bags that they make. Because, like, most of the time, I rarely buy bags from anyone else. I know that kind of sounds bad. But I have so much fabric already, it's always kind of like, well, the thrifty side of me is just like, well, you can make your own bag, or you've made yourself plenty of bags. I'm actually staring at I have at least 7 bags that I made, and then an 8th one. Yeah, an 8th, the only one I've actually bought. So, I think that's it. Oh, so March's winner. I drew this before I came up here. It's Linda. No, I think it's Linda. Yeah, Linda from Bethlehem. You knit socks on a plane, which I think is very fitting since I knit that as well. So, sock twins there. And Andrea knit those as well. I don't know. She might have finished them in February, but she knit them as well. So, we're all feeling socks on a plane. And hers is really, really pretty. It was a self-striping yarn, and it not quite a pastel. They weren't pastel, but they were definitely more spring colors, so I really liked them. Yeah, so Linda, please get a hold of me, and with your choice of a $5 pattern of your choice, and I will buy it for you. So, let's see what else. I think that's all for knitting and crafting and all those good stuff. So we can move on. I'm going to move on to what's happened in life and my meet. So, yeah, hold on. Sorry, I'm missing something. Oh, no, I'm not. My chair rolled out. Anyways, so if you want to head out for that, or if you're done, thank you so much for stopping by, and I will see you next week. If you want to stick around, I have great news. So, bye everyone who's leaving. Anyways, so the meet went quite well. It went extremely well. I got first place in my weight class. There was only 2 of us, but I did extremely well. I didn't get best lifter, which pretty much means I didn't lift as many pounds per body pound as the winner did, but I was close. I was really close. So let's go ahead and talk about the lead up to it, and then we'll talk about the meet. So I had to, I was cutting down to 125 pounds. I did the water loading, which pretty much you drink a lot of water and then you kind of cut back. Like we cut it off. I stopped drinking copious amounts of water at about 3 o'clock Friday, and I weighed in at 7 on Saturday. And you know, I ate some food, but I was done eating no later than like 6:30, if I remember correctly, maybe 7. And then James went ahead and had me eat a lemon that night because it is a diuretic. So that helped a little bit. And then I woke up the next morning and checked. We actually woke up at like 5, and I weighed it. You know, I weighed here at home. I was like 125.4, so it was really close. I had no room to wiggle according to our scale. So James gave me half of a caffeine pill, and I hadn't eaten anything. I hadn't even put deodorant on because I did not want to add any extra weight. And the caffeine, of course, is a diuretic as well, and it helped. Actually helped a lot because it also causes some other things, but I won't go into detail with that. and I weighed in at 124.8, so I was very happy, very excited about that. So that was the first goal. Started out the day good, made weight class, so, you know, next step up. Did squats. That is, so how a powerlifting meet goes, if nobody knows, for the federation, I do the USA Powerlifting Federation is what I am part of, and this was the first USA PL meet here locally in town at our gym, which was very exciting. There was 50 lifters, half of them were women, which was even more exciting because most of the meets that I go to, women maybe at best take up, you know, about a quarter of the competitors, so I was really excited with that. Met actually a lot of great women. There was a lot of college kids there that had come down from IU, I believe, and so that was cool to see all these other lifters. But so how the meet goes, you weigh in, you have 2 hours to weigh in, so from 7 to 9, and pretty much at 9 you gotta get ready to go. And we had it split up into 4 flights, and what you have to do is every flight you get 3 attempts for that lift, and then so everyone had to do, so flight A had to do all 3 squats, and then it moved on and did the same thing for the rest of the flights, and then we take a break and then do bench, same thing, and then take a break and do do deadlifts and take a break. And I will attach a video of all my best lifts at the end of this if you're interested in seeing it. But so yeah, it went really great. Started off with squats. I was in the very first flight, which isn't surprising for me, because I'm lightweight female, and they usually tend to go first. So, and it was kind of cool though. I was the very last of my flight, which means I was pushing the most weight. I ended up squatting 275 pounds. This is an all-time best regardless of weight class. My last all-time record was 270 and I was like 15 pounds heavier than I am now. So that was extremely exciting. So now that definitely means I'm a lot stronger than I was. And then we moved on to bench. I did 116 easy, hit 121 just fine, but that one didn't count because my butt came up, and when you bench you have to have your butt has to touch the bench during the entire lift, your feet have to be completely flat on the ground, and your head and shoulders have to be on the bench as well. And so my butt came up, and then we tried to do it a second time, and my mind was not there and I messed it up. So that is definitely a goal going forward, is to rework my bench, you know, work on my foot placement, because I think that's really a key thing right now. And of course just keep working on my strength to up it as well. But so that was kind of a letdown. But then we went on to deadlifts, and I flippin' blew it away. Let's talk. I am so sorry about that light. Let's talk about deadlifts real quick. So my all-time best was 303 pounds, and I was 15 pounds heavier. I ended up lifting 314 pounds, and I was so excited. To put that into perspective, that would have been, it would have been a pound shy of 3 45 pound plates at each end of the bar. So I was very excited. And James, let me move this real quick. Okay, anyways, James did not compete in this meet. He had an injury, and he had decided that he wasn't going to compete. There's one further down the road, or further down, that he's going to shoot for, and you know, I may or may not compete in that. We'll see. But he was my coach 100%, and it was very nice. He was very supportive. I mean, he's a great coach. And actually what I appreciated the most, and I think this is what we're going to do moving forward, because he always kind of pretty much picks the weight for me for what I'm going to lift next, and that's what he did for this meet. So when I went in, I knew my openings, and for bench, I knew what I was lifting all the way through. But for squat, I only knew my first attempt, and then I had no idea what my next 2 attempts were until after I was completely done. And same with deadlift. And the funny thing with deadlift, he sat down with me and he's like, hey, you know, you're not gonna win best lifter, no, you know, even if we push your limit. So you can decide between 308 or 314. And I was just like, I don't care. Don't tell me. Just, I'm going to go out there and I'll lift whatever's on the bar. He's like, okay. And he actually, and he told the announcer everything. He's like, please don't say the weight aloud until after she's done. Let her go out there and lift it. And it was funny because they finished it, and the announcer, which is someone I know, and he's just like, that was 314 pounds. I wasn't allowed to say it till just now. But James actually had meant for the attempt to be 308 pounds, but he had gotten his numbers backwards. So I ended up lifting the 314, but that was completely fine because I mean, I'm so proud of myself. I just blew everything away, and I don't know, it was very exciting. It was definitely a crowning achievement for the past 6 months of training that I've been putting myself through. But yeah, it was really exciting. I was very happy with everything, and I felt great. One of my friends, actually, it was her first time lifting, and she did really good. It was very good numbers. You know, she has something to beat for next time, and she started to beat herself up after the first lift, which was squat. And you know, I caught her in the bathroom. We sat down and talked. I was like, nah, you know, you can't do that. You know, this is your first meet. You just need to go out there and have fun. See if this is even something you want to pursue. Which, of course, it always is. But, man, the sun is setting and it's chasing me. But, yeah, everything was just really great. There were so many first-time lifters, men and women, and it was so amazing to watch everyone. Everyone did such a great job, and I was so proud of them. My best friend Jess and her husband came and supported me. They didn't stay the whole time, which is fine. We were there from 7 in the morning till almost 6, I think. Maybe we got to leave a little before 6, but we didn't get home until after 7 because we went and had dinner. Had Chinese food. Yes, Chinese food. Anyways, I've been on such a strict diet. It was so nice to eat whatever the heck I wanted. So, it was really nice too because the Chinese restaurant had, like, you could have half a crab or at least half the crab legs of a crab, if that makes sense, for $1 if you got a buffet meal. And so I was like, oh yes please, and it was perfect. So I had my one plate, had my crabs, and then I went back and got a little extra, just some fruit, a little dessert, and something else. But you know, I didn't get sick or anything, which is nice. Today I've been really lazy. I was gonna have pancakes, but I felt too lazy. I might make pancakes for dinner, but yeah, you know, just kind of eating whatever today. Tomorrow, of course, I'll be back on eating clean and whatnot, or at least watching everything I eat. But you know, it's rewarding just to have that day of afterwards of just eating whatever. I'm still, if you can't tell, still pretty exhausted from yesterday. My back is just sore, but I expect that. You know, that's kind of a good sign. It means I really did put effort, and I hit that red line, you know, as best as I could. And I've just kind of been dozing in and out, but I don't know. Like I said, I'm really, really proud of myself. I made James so happy. My mother was there as well, and she was just ecstatic as well. So, you know, of course she's always been my #1 fan for everything of mine. So, but yeah, it's I don't really know where to go from there. Today it's been kind of ups and downs emotionally because you know, I'm like I said, I'm so proud of myself. Everything went so well besides the bench, but now it's just kind of like, well, what do I do now? And this tends to happen to a lot of lifters, because you know, you spend, this is definitely a sport, you spend so many months of training and dieting just for one single meet, you know, and it afterwards it's kind of, you know, you have that high and then you come back down, and you know, where do you go from here? You know, you want to keep pushing weights, of course, but it's definitely, you know, you had a direction and now you need to find your direction again. So yep, gotta get back in that groove. I won't start lifting again until maybe like Tuesday, and it'll just be light stuff, kind of letting my body rest and adjusting things. So because that's what I said, like I said, I really need to adjust my bench, more of my setup. My strength seems to be there just fine, but it's really setting up and getting in the right position to move that weight where everything is exactly how it should be. So yeah, so like I said, I will attach the videos at the end. It was taken on my phone, so sorry about the profile, but yeah, I want to thank everyone who was on Instagram where I was posting videos. I know it's not knitting, and I know, you know, I don't really even know any other knitters that that do powerlift, such as myself. A lot of people always tell me, oh, that's such complete opposites, but I mean, I don't really see them as complete opposites. At least for me, they're both very calming, and I know that seems like an understatement. I mean, that seems kind of odd to say about powerlifting, but it is very calming for me. And I don't know, they're both, for me, they go hand in hand just fine. It's who I am. So, but again, thank you for everyone who does stick around, who's interested, who listens to what I have to say, and, you know, does support me, and everyone who cheers me on. I greatly appreciate it. I really, really do. It makes, you know, of course makes me feel special, but I like being able to share what other people call complete opposites and let them merge together. So I don't know. I'm getting all sentimental now, and I didn't mean to. It's because I'm tired. Sorry about that. Gosh, yeah, sorry. Whew. So, here's the videos, and I hope you guys have a great week. I will see you next time. Bye.
Get behind your crowd, come on. Come on. Come on, Captain. Go. Go. All you. Go. Come on. Up. Come on. Go. Right here. Let's go.